You could witness a new aviation milestone by the end of 2023. A flagship Boeing 787 jet from Virgin Atlantic Airways is scheduled to operate the world's first transatlantic flight at the end of this year, achieving net zero carbon emissions. The aircraft will fly from London Heathrow to New York John F. Kennedy International Airport and will be powered entirely by sustainable aviation fuel, SAF. The use of SAF has been on the rise in recent years, but what exactly is it? SAF is the abbreviation of Sustainable Aviation Fuel. It is sustainable because its raw materials will not compete with food crops or water resources, nor will it cause forest degradation. SAF is one of the fastest and most effective ways that the aviation industry is currently responding to the need to reduce carbon emissions. It can turn waste into valuable products that include waste oil and various solid wastes, such as wrapping paper, food scraps, and textiles. Why we need to accelerate the use of SAF? The primary source of carbon emissions from the aviation is the combustion of jet fuel, which comes from petroleum. It releases carbon dioxide as well as other greenhouse gases such as nitrogen oxides and water vapor in order to slow down the global warming effect and achieve the goal of net zero emissions by 2050. The aviation industry urgently needs to use alternatives to jet fuel. SAF can be blended with conventional jet fuel for use in existing aircraft using a variety of conversion technologies without engine or infrastructure modifications. Of course, this low-carbon fuel can also be a complete replacement for traditional fossil fuels. According to the estimate from the International Air Transport Association, IATA, SAF could contribute around 65% of the emission reductions the aviation industry needs to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Who produces sustainable aviation fuel? There are several broad categories of companies that produce sustainable aviation fuel globally. One is the major energy companies such as Shell, BP, Total Energies, China National Petroleum Corporation, Sinopec, China Aviation Fuel Group, and others who are actively developing and producing SAF to reduce costs and increase availability. The other category is specialized renewable energy producers, such as Finland's Neste, US-based renewable chemicals and advanced biofuels companies, Gevo and World Energy. The latter is currently one of SAF's largest suppliers. Another category is multinational companies, which actively promote sustainable aviation fuels through their global R&D teams and channel resources. Take Honeywell as an example here. Honeywell recently announced the launch of its innovative UOP eFining technology, an off-the-shelf solution for producing low-carbon SAF. Honeywell claims that its UOP eFining can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 88% compared to conventional jet fuel. When blended with conventional jet fuel, SAF is a direct alternative fuel that requires no changes to aircraft technology or fuel infrastructure. For technical details, please refer to my blog. Its current customers include the Singapore Armed Forces and United Airlines, among others. United Airlines is the first airline in the world to use sustainable aviation fuel in its regular operations. What new plans does Honeywell have? Honeywell will further cooperate with its first commercial customer, HIF Global, to convert recovered carbon dioxide into useful feedstock to replace fossil fuels in aviation, which are very difficult to reduce. HIF Global is an international electric fuel company founded in 2016 by AME, the fifth largest power plant in Chile, and backed by German automaker Porsche AG, one of the most profitable automakers in the world. HIF Global expects to deploy the solution at its second commercial-scale electric fuels facilities in the United States. The HIF eSAF project is expected to be the world's largest SAF facility. What is the market outlook for SAF? In 2021, the Biden administration announced the Sustainable Aviation Fuel Grant Challenge for the U.S. aviation fuel supply sector, which is to produce at least 3 billion gallons of SAF per year by 2030, equivalent to 11.36 billion liters, and to reduce aviation emission by 20%. The ultimate goal is to use 100% of SAF for U.S. aviation fuel by 2050. Currently, sustainable aviation fuels are costly due to insufficient production capacity and immature supply chains, among other issues. However, with the further unifications of government carbon reduction policies and industry standards, and the establishment of a mature and robust production and supply system, the widespread use of sustainable fuels will eventually become a milestone in the aviation industry. Let's wait and see. If this is the first time watching the video, you're welcome to subscribe to the KellyOnTech channel and easily understand the global cutting-edge technologies and promising projects.